is happening, internet? It's your boy Jake here, and today I'm chatting to Brentford centre-back Ethan Pinnock about his rise up the division. Yes, he started out in Millwall's academy, got knocked down, and now he's back as one of the best ballers in the championship. What a story. Can't wait to speak to him. If you like this video, remember, give it a like. And if you're over 13, make sure you click that subscribe button. Anyway, let's go. Ethan Pinnock, what is happening?
Morning, Jake. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for being here today, mate. So yes, we're going to talk about your career from the earliest days playing football as a kid to where you are now as one of the best ballers in the championship. We're going to start at the beginning, enjoyment. So what is your earliest footballing memory?
So one of my earliest memories is actually going to watch my brother's games. So basically, he used to play for a team called Ferndale, and I was too young to be in the team at that point, probably 5 or 6. So I just used to go along with my dad, and just whilst his game's going on, I'll be on the sideline trying to have my own game with my dad and things like that. But yeah, just being surrounded by people that love football as well just made me get that love for it when I was really young.
Oh, nice. So was it your dad who introduced you to football, and then you looked up to your brother who was already playing?
Yeah, kind of. Like I'd always be on at home, and in the front room, I don't think my mum was too best pleased, but maybe a few broken vases and things like that. But yeah, started in the house, and then eventually went to the parks and things like that.
Nice. So who was your first team then? How old were you then?
So the first team I joined was a team called Glebe, and I would say I was about 8 years old when I joined them. And
what position did you play when you were that age?
So yeah, at that age I used to be a left winger. So I was, believe it or not.
Not quite as tall as you are today back then, but yeah.
Exactly.
And when do you first remember realising that you had a bit about you?
I think there was one game, I was a bit ill the night before, so I had a bit of a sore throat and I wasn't feeling great, but I still wanted to play, and I ended up playing the game, and I think we won. We scored 13 goals and I scored 6 of them, so I realised even when I weren't feeling great, I still managed to score quite a few goals. So, but yeah, I'm actually alright at this.
Or opposition coming up,
Yeah.
coughing, they're like, easy day, and you're hitting a double hat trick. Nice. Do you remember getting scouted?
It was really young. I think it was the year after I started playing for Glebe, so I would have been maybe 9 years old. And I just remember scout from Millwall talking to my dad, and I think just playing for Glebe, I went to like a development centre first, where they had players that they were probably thinking whether or not they were ready to go into the Millwall academy or not. And then kind of from there, I think I done quite well, and then ended up joining the academy that same season.
I've heard that it didn't work out 100% at Millwall as you may have wanted as a kid. How was that setback?
Yeah, it was tough. I was there for about 5 or 6 seasons, and then got to under 15s. I was basically told that I wasn't going to be offered anything. So it was a tough blow to take at the time. Obviously, basically being told, we don't think you're good enough. It's not something that's nice to hear, but I think having a good support system around me and keeping that self-belief that, I'm good enough to play, and that, the path isn't always going to be a straight one. There's always going to be obstacles along the way. So just have to keep that belief in myself, and having good people around me help keep my mind in a good place.
Nice. And you went to Dulwich Hamlet shortly after that.
Yeah.
And you were still playing left wing in those days. When did you change there to a defensive player?
Yeah, so at Dulwich, I think I played pretty much everywhere except for in goal. I had a bit of time in left wing, a bit of time in midfield, and then left back. I played a lot of left back, but I think it was towards the my last two seasons there. I was there for about 5 years. My last 2 years there, that's when I started playing centre back. So there was a pre-season game, and I was actually meant to be playing in midfield, I think. But one of the centre backs got injured, and we didn't have another centre back on the bench for that game. So I ended up playing centre back that game and done quite well, and then haven't looked back since then.
Yeah, your body type, 6'3", that would lean to being a centre back. How did you show yourself in the best light, hoping to get further up the ladder?
Yeah, just trying to keep the game simple, not trying to do too much. I know that at that level, there's a lot of players that want to be playing higher and, try and maybe do stuff to get recognised. But I think, trying to keep the game simple and just playing what you see in front of you, that's really important.
And did you feel like you'd taken a lot from your academy days with Millwall, and then obviously moving to a different team? What did you feel like you had taken from the academy experience specifically?
Well, I think I was good technically. You do a lot of drills and stuff to make sure that you're technically as sound as you can be. So I think going in from an academy into playing men's football, it's a lot more physical and you have to be a lot more robust. I think that's a thing that a lot of players struggle with, but having the other side of the game that I knew was already at a point that was at a good level, I think that helped me. And then obviously as you get older, you play more games and develop more, you become stronger and more accustomed to the physical side.
Definitely, and you certainly did become accustomed to the physical side, playing at centre-back for Dulwich. You moved up then to Forest Green and had some success there, then Barnsley, and now at Brentford. That is quite the rise of the divisions. What do you credit that to?
When I look back on the journey, it has been like a step-by-step kind of journey. It hasn't just been gone from bottom to top. So I think, when, as I kind of touched on before, when you're playing at any level, just trying to get that consistency and trying to be the best you can be at that level. And I think, every time I took a step up, I did obviously notice the difference in levels, but then the players you're with, they're better as well. And I think being in an environment with better players, forces you to either adapt and become better as well. And, I managed to be able to do that. And yeah, that's kind of helped with the rise up the leagues.
So a lot of the young ballers that kind of will be watching this will be feeling the pressure to get signed or move up to the next level to make their dreams come true. How did you deal with the pressure of moving clubs and going up the divisions, and what advice would you give to them?
I'd just say, try and enjoy everything, as much as it is, there is that side to it where you want to, do well and you don't want to let anyone down. At the end of the day, football is a really short career, and, I know a lot of players that have played and no longer playing that miss it and talk about, how they wish they actually enjoyed being in that environment. So, every time you do move, it's a chance to prove how good you are, and, see it as a positive and just try and take everything in your stride. Not performing, it's not the end of the world, there's always another game. So
it's good to keep the pressure off. And it's important to look after yourself off the pitch as well as on the pitch. Nutrition, I'd like to talk a little bit about now. When you were younger, what kind of foods did you like to eat to make sure you had the energy to play the game?
I just think, trying to keep everything balanced, not maybe going too overboard. So you still have your treats every now and then. Doesn't mean you have to eat like you're training for the Olympics, but just making sure that you got a good balanced diet and you're eating foods that are going to provide you with the right fuel for games and training.
That's it. It's the balance, isn't it? What are the treats that you like to have maybe after a game when You've worked hard. Is it a donut, a bit of pizza? What you picking?
So like after a game, yeah, I'd usually have like a protein shake. So like sometimes your body feels really depleted, so I like to have like maybe a protein shake and a Lucozade or something like that, and then yeah, maybe a little chocolate bar or something just to help.
Which bar are you picking? Come on, you gotta.
No, I'll change it up, but yeah, I like Galaxy Riffle. I don't know if you know that one. Yeah, I've been on them recently. They're good.
They are elite. That's that posh chocolate, isn't it? It's fancy.
Yeah. Good stuff there.
Okay, one last final question to sum it up. What does it take to become a professional footballer?
So I think obviously you need to have a good work ethic. You know, when you are a professional footballer, you're training almost every day, and you know, some days you might not feel on top of the world, but you know, once you're there, you always need that effort to work hard and to try and do all you can, whether it's training or a game. You have to be strong-minded and have like a good mindset, because obviously, as with my path, it's never going to go the way you want. You know, there's always going to be obstacles in the way. So it's all about, you know, accepting those obstacles and finding out what you can do to overcome them. And then lastly, I believe, you just gotta, you know, have ability as well. I think nowadays the way the game is, even as a defender, you know, you're required to try and be better on the ball than maybe the last couple of decades. So yeah, I think trying to be mentally sharp and tidy on the ball and technically sound, I think those are some important elements.
Nice one. So keep doing your drills in the garden, never give up, keep having fun. I think it's a nice package and a great story, Ethan. You've shown that you can, you know, get knocked down and then reach the highest level. And I'm sure the Premier League is close in your future.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed for you, mate. Thank you so much for talking to us. What a story.
Thank you, Jay. Take care.
Wow, what a story. Thank you so much, Ethan, for speaking to us today. If you've liked the video, click the like button. And if you're over 13, make sure you're subscribed. Until next time, happy football!